lightning and thunder on the western Atlantic. An old transport plane carrying weapons was hit by lightning, lost control and fell into the sea. 1 week after the time arrives, this chubby man named Paul. He is a professional diving coach. Originally, one class could earn 300 yuan, but the unscrupulous boss always finds reasons. East Buckle and West Buckle 1870. Paul happily invited the boss to take a shower on the spot. The boss invited him to eat squid on an iron plate. This bucket has run away. Not a bucket. The pretty girl named Jessica by the shark. It's Pal's girlfriend. Despite Pal's poor living in a dilapidated trailer, the wooden boat wheel also leaks everywhere. But the two of them are just very happy. The pump cannot be pulled. Just kiss one and use love to generate electricity first. On camera, Pal's former boss has come to destroy the boss. He specializes in the salvage industry. 10 years ago, a storm overturned the sediment on the seabed. The salvage team of the destroyer has retrieved many treasures. Now he has a professional salvage ship and hundreds of employees, and the storm that occurred a week ago must have caused significant changes to the seabed. So he invited Paul, a diving expert, to go out to sea to search for treasures together. Paul refused this time when he wanted to go to the airport alone to pick up his friends. My girlfriend feels that Paul has been hit. Proactively offer a kiss. Paul drives 2 cars at the same time. Use it wholeheartedly. Almost crashed, and scrap this scrap pickup truck again. Soon. Old friend Abu landed with the spicy girl Oman he met last night. It can be seen from the way the two men greet each other. Their relationship is indeed extraordinary. Abu works as a lawyer in New York, because we can always help drug dealers win lawsuits. A resounding reputation. AB came to the Bahamas this time as a drug lord to close the payment. Use a seaside villa here as a reward, including motorboats, yachts, and so on. I gave Abu Paul a listen. I'm overjoyed. I am worried that there is no ship to sail out. That's it. 2 couples bring equipment. Let's go out and take a wave first. The underwater scenery is beautiful and spectacular, plus accompanied by beautiful women. Paul instantly put all his troubles behind him. When fighting with Abu, his watch fell off. Paul, go down and search. Accident. Found a black stone. As a former member of the salvage team, he knows very well. This is the ballast stone used in ancient wooden ships. It indicates that there may be a sunken ship nearby, so I decided to bring my tools and investigate carefully. Abu is afraid of sharks. I took a mop and prayed before I went into the water. Actually, except for tiger sharks. Other sharks generally do not actively attack humans. Abu, compare and draw with a mop. Instead, he was noticed by the shark. Here's a move. You took 4 people away. A carpet search under the sea actually found something, especially when Paul discovered a beautiful golden dagger. This further confirms the conjecture that there is a sunken ship nearby. Surprisingly, I didn't see the sunken ship. Instead, crashed transport plane was discovered. It's the one that crashed at the beginning of the movie. A few people took down the window and went in to investigate. Discovered that this is a drug dealer's transport plane. A bag of well-sealed white powder inside can build a house, at least worth tens of millions. Abu and Oman were already in a heartbeat. But Paul and Jessica are good people, never do anything illegal. Otherwise, with their abilities and appearance, they would have lived in luxury houses for a long time, driving a luxury car, returning to the seaside villa. Paul believes that there must be treasures in that sea area. I should go search the carpet. Unfortunately, they didn't salvage the ship. I can only buy some single-player equipment now, and Boo Boo and Manman are obsessed with those white fans, especially when Abu heard that Paul was going to buy a salvage boat for 30,000 yuan. Immediately cry for poverty. Fortunately, Paul has a good character, received a pile of detection equipment, so they set a range in the undersea circle. Scan bit by bit with metal detector. If there is a reaction, blow open the sand to check. I discovered a lot of things first. Aman took advantage of everyone's lack of attention. Come to the transport plane, and go in to steal white powder. As a result, I accidentally got trapped inside. If it weren't for Powell's quick reaction, carry the oxygen tank to rescue. He has drowned due to running out of oxygen. After rescuing Oman, how many people counted the spoils of this battle? One of the ancient silver pistols provides valuable clues. The Latin text above says that the tyrant knows how to cooperate in the development of powder cartridges and materials. They confirmed that, if there is a sunken ship nearby, so his owner should be Piam Thorpe from the 19th century. He is a slave pirate. During the American Civil War, he packed many treasures on the sailboat, Xiphon. Prepare to elope with your favorite woman, after being discovered. Don't hesitate to sink the ship. Create the illusion of death, abandoning all treasures with women. Go to a place where no one knows them, accompanied until old age. Abu doesn't believe in such infatuated pirates, but Paul and Jessica never doubted. Next, find the West Wind. They just posted it. According to the law, as long as it is an unowned item, whoever discovers it is theirs. The next day, Oman stayed on the ship to let out the wind. The other 3 people will search again in the sea. This time they found a gun barrel. Jessica recorded longitude and latitude information, then used the camera to record the lifting process of their inflatable personal flotation device, to prove that they were the first to discover. And Oman, where he basked in the sun on a yacht, and a Bahamian Coast Guard ship woke up and boarded the ship for routine inspections. The 3 dare not let the barrel be discovered. I plan to release it back to the bottom of the sea first. As a result, the center of gravity shifted when AB gave up the personal flotation device. The 2 of them quickly sank together with the barrel of the gun. My arm is pressed under me. Paul quickly reinflates the personal flotation device. Increase benefits. Then use all your strength to lift the gun barrel. That's how Abu was rescued. 3 people return to the yacht. The Coast Guard happens to know Paul and Jessica, until both of them have good character. Just call on the subordinates to retreat. 4 people go to a bar and dance at night. Abu and Paul proposed finding the treasure. Just kick Oman out. He must dare to speak nonsense everywhere. Let him receive disability allowance next year. And Oman is not a fuel-efficient light either. Intimate behavior with the black boss here. I also want to exchange my body for some white powder, although it's just for fun. But Abu still felt like Green had given him a hook to the head of the mechanism. If it weren't for Pal's timely persuasion, Abu is expected to be hit. His mother don't know. The next day, a few people continue to search for treasures in the sea. Little did one know, a group of people have already been following them, when all 4 of them are in the water. Boarded the yacht. A flurry of flipping. After Paul and Abu discovered it, struggling with it, a negress was caught in Pal's crotch. I can't hold my breath. Only when he ran out of oxygen did he let him out of water. The other party fled in despair. The hat that Paul left behind from the scene discovered that it was an employee under Miber's command, so I went to find the theory of annihilating hegemony. Let him manage his subordinates well. But Mir doesn't even acknowledge a hat. It doesn't mean anything. Drag it on again. That sea area will be conquered sooner or later. Find. Abu advised Paul to sell some white powder first, by a professional ship. Even if the first drug trafficking is discovered, the maximum sentence is 5 years. I haven't taken a lawyer's certificate yet. Long time. Even if you're not afraid of poverty, you can't always disappoint Jessica, can you? Paul thinks what Abu said is right. He is determined not to do anything illegal, otherwise, I'll go to prison. Jessica's becoming a widow is the end of her life. Abu felt like he was casting pearls before swine, so in the middle of the night, he took a man to steal white powder, avoiding sharks from class 6. 2 people went in and picked up 6 packs of white powder. The next day the man got out of the car wearing sexy clothes. I went to see Guantu again. Jir is bald except for being a bar owner, or at the top of a drug trafficking organization. Oman and Abu do not want to trade white powder with each other. Who knows? That crashed transport plane belongs to the other party. Wait until Paul receives the news and arrives. 2 PIC teammates have been detained by drug trafficking organizations. The other party recognized at a glance that this was the batch of goods they had lost. I just want to force Paul to deliver all the remaining white powder within 12 hours. Paul said, no equipment. I can't do it. The other party directly dumped him $30,000. After returning, Paul punched Abu, reluctantly accepting reality. But Jessica firmly refused to work for the drug lord, turn around and leave. With a salvage boat, work efficiency has doubled several times. Finally discovered the west wind, which had been silent for over a century. The hull of the ship is filled with fine sand from the seabed. We need to investigate first. Abu found many valuable antiques on the ship. Paul found videos and photos of Western women. That famous pirate really gave up all his treasures for him. Prepare the evidence for the first discovery. Hurry up and complete the task assigned by the drug lord. Pull bags of white powder onto the ship. Maybe the action is too big. Stimulated the shark. A man's thigh was bitten off with a piece of meat. Paul decisively cut the rope hanging with white powder. Sent Oman to the hospital as soon as possible. Because I couldn't retrieve the white powder on time, Paul and the 3 were pursued by drug dealers, chasing through a thrilling alley. They have temporarily escaped danger, but the monk can't run away from the temple. Paul simply gave the antiques he got from the west wind at a critical moment. These things are much more valuable than that batch of goods. Who knows when to bring the antique back? When discussing with the boss, discovered that the old nest had been taken away. Then Paul lay on the ground and went to check the situation himself, quickly knocked unconscious, and then Paul ran into the real culprit. Unexpectedly, it's a black eating and black destroying bully. Original. He's doing drug business under the cover of a salvage boat. Paul, who broke through the murder scene, ran up to the deck. A fierce man plunged into the sea. Thanos. Paul, who stopped his men from shooting and ordered the capture of the live chicken thief, arrived at the front of the speedboat. Black under one hand lamp. The other party turned around 8 times but couldn't find anyone, and then muttered a sentence. It's strange. Leaving in a gloomy mood, Paul took the opportunity to escape, kill the tyrant and kidnap Jessica here. Paul was so angry that he exploded upon learning about it. It's all about Abu breaking the rules and stealing white powder. Abu is very guilty. The 2 immediately formulated a rescue plan. Paul went to see Miba. I want to exchange the treasure on the West Wind for someone else. I don't believe in the West Wind at all. He just wants to know the location of the crashed plane. Paul has no choice. So I had to take Miba to find by Fen. When reaching the target sea area, and mocking the destruction of the tyrant, you have such advanced ships and so many manpower, but I couldn't find my own plane. After one's words, plunge one's head into the sea, kill the tyrant and his men put on their equipment to chase Jessica on the ship. No one's watching. He struggled to move the Seaview corpse he had been killed for helping him. Their hands were handcuffed together. He found a machete, heart horizontal, chopped towards the wrist of the corpse, and then he cut down the pipes in the computer room with another knife. The little brother who checked was also locked in the gate by him. Another guy who operates a crane is pretending to sell fish. Actually, it was a poaching attack by fishermen, who were bribed by Paul, using a speedboat to tow away the underwater Miba and others. We did find the crashed plane, but Abu had scratched all the drugs inside, completely integrated into the sea. Paul and Abu are secretly attacking. Prepare to defeat the destroyers and others one by one. Jessica's side was still discovered by a younger brother. Chasing room. He grabbed the other person's hand, then quickly arrived at the control room. Radio for help. The other party smashed the glass with their head and opened the door. Continue to pursue Jessica. The game at the bottom of the sea is equally intense. Paul and Abu use their guns to counter the killing of the Baptist men. Jessica has no way to escape to the deck again, pulling each other into the sea together. Using my years of experience feeding sharks. Bring in a shark. Eat the other party. Myra and Paul meet on a narrow path in a crashed plane. Kill the tyrant with a pistol in hand. Paul knocked off the nozzle of the oxygen tank. Both parties launch oxygen tank at the same time. Triggered the explosion of the plane. Kill the tyrant and bury himself at the bottom of the sea on the spot. Paul and Jessica escaped a disaster. 6 weeks later, a few people gathered the barrel ropes of the Westwind again. Accidentally broken, the barrel sank into the seabed, smashing the hull of the Westwind. Just revealed a pile of golden bricks. OC Tracking was released in 2005, starring Paul Walker, Jessica Alba, and others. Although the plot is rather cliche, but the visual effect is excellent. Handsome guy and beautiful woman. The underwater world is very eye-catching. It's a popcorn movie packed with big names. Okay, that's all for today's movie. See you next time.